everyone, it's Mish here, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you come back. And for all of you who are coming back and supporting me and leaving me nice comments, it means a lot. Wasn't really sure if I was going to get a video out for today, and things have just been so crazy, but I will endeavor to put something out. So we'll be working in the Daphne Diary Gluebook journal, my little collage journal. If you haven't caught the other videos, there is a long playlist with all the pages that we've done to date. So I would love for you to check them out. We've done some really cool little pages, and I kind of love going back and flipping through the book, especially if I'm feeling a little bit low. It just kind of makes me smile. So I was trying to get a little bit of inspiration as to what kind of page that I'd like to see, and I still haven't received issue 1 for 2024. So that issue was actually released on January the 9th, and it's now February the 9th, and it's nowhere in sight, so I'm not sure. So I'm going back to the issue 8 from 2023, and I was just kind of flipping through because I had an idea of what I'd like to do, and I saw the inspiration for the idea in a magazine that I was flipping through at Chapters. I was just in the magazine rack and I was looking through some of the magazines, and I saw a project in one of the books, and I thought, oh, that's what I would like to do because I really think I need it right now. I'm kind of feeling a bit, I can't even say down. I'm not sure what I'm feeling, but I think I just need some inspiration or motivation. So I thought what I would do, and it'll become clear later on in the video, but is to do sort of affirmation medal or award, which I think would be good if I'm flipping through my book. Then I can see the little medal as if I've awarded it to myself. But when I was flipping through, I was kind of looking for a color scheme of how I want to do my layers, and I really loved this kind of purpley mauve. I don't know if it really picks it up much in the camera, but I liked that, so I thought I could use a piece of that. And then towards the back there were some other paper that I thought I could use. Oh, I thought I might use a piece of this and maybe part of one of these envelopes, because I thought that this looks a bit bright there in the video, but that this would kind of work well with that other page here. Kind of thought that maybe I could layer that up. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to do a little, and I like that too, so I might use a piece of that. I'm going to get my pieces all together, my background, and then I'll be... Okay, so I think I have a little bit of a plan. I did go and get some cardstock because I wasn't really happy with what I had. So if you do watch my channel, I have a little plastic tote thing that I keep a lot of the offcuts of the magazine. I actually keep the magazine on my bookcase, but so I go through not only the magazines, I keep going through the magazines, but I keep going through everything that I've cut out. So I considered using some of this little washi tape. I also keep little projects, extra bits like the butterflies. We made some postage stamps once, just some floral kind of theme, magnifying kind of glasses. So I just kind of keep things in little DVD plastic. So I kind of rooted through all of this, and I couldn't really find anything that I felt would be suitable. Again, if you've watched me, you know that I create kind of vellum templates. So this one here is 5.5 by 8.5, and that's the size of my page. So I'll often lay it down so it gives me an idea of what my background would look like. So I kind of go through and I use that. and I really wasn't happy with what I had. I have found the page where I want it to go in the book, and I just kind of felt that that would go good with my little girl on the other side. So I've decided to go with this one. So today I'm going to just do a little bit of distressing around the edge with just some oxides, just to give it a little bit of contrast and interest. If you don't have this, obviously you don't need to do it. If you had watercolored pencils, you could just gently go around the edge and then you use your watercolors. But I wanted to just create a little bit of a frame to help my main focal point kind of stand out a little bit better. So I was happy about that. My choices were seedless preserve and wilted violet, and I felt that either of them would go okay. So so that's what we've done to start off, and I don't need that, I don't think. Okay, so like I said, I saw the inspiration in a magazine. I forget what the magazine was called, and so I want to do sort of like a merit badge or an affirmation medal, whatever you want to call it. So I want to start just by, I fussy cutted some of these lavender, purpley kind of flowers, and then I had a little bit of lavender and another little bit here, and then I wasn't sure, I got another little piece of this that I thought I could just cut a little bit off and put at the top. The other option is I could cut this up, because my main focal point is going to go kind of right about here. Maybe I'll start with the focal point, and then we could add anything in the background. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Okay, so what my thing is going to be is like this medal, like you'd wear on your chest. So I had this has been was lying on my desk. I really love this fabric. I think I got it like in the 80s when my mom and I used to do a lot of sewing. So when I think about it, it just kind of reminds me of her. So I kind of wanted that in my affirmation medal. And then I found this just lying on my desk too. So I thought that that might be a good bottom part of the medal, the award. So I'm kind of thinking maybe about there. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Fabri-Tac for now, just to, if I can get it open. All my glues lately have seized up. And excuse me if I'm snuffing. I got a little bit of a sinus issue going on. I always get this like in February because the inside air is so dry, and even if I got 2 humidifiers going, I got saline spray and neti pots, and it's just relentless. So okay, so let's get possibly that down. The other thing is I just cut out from some scrap paper. This actually came from the magazine. I did put it onto some firmer cardstock, and then I've got, not sure how this is all going to play out. I got another little piece of material that I thought could go there, and then possibly that. And then I want to layer up. To me, that looks a little bit crooked. I think that's where it's crooked. So I just took my pinking shears and I tried to cut a straight line. And you know what? I could never cut a straight line with pinking shears. I don't know why. So let me turn that a little bit there. I think that's better. Okay, so for this one here, I think we'll just get some stuff glued down, and if we don't like it, then we can do something else. But I took the pinking shears and I just pinked around that little border. And this was actually from the back of this paper. So I thought that it probably would stand up just a little bit. And then Just want to get a little bit more of this. So it's been crazy here, and like I said at the beginning, I don't know if my mental health is suffering but I've been working almost full time right now, which I'm thankful that I can work. So I always feel guilty if I don't work and there's the opportunity. So right now I decreased my hours from full time to 0.6 because I felt that that's what I could cope with. And but I've been asked to do some special project work, which I absolutely love doing. So I'm liking doing the extra hours. The thing is it's still, you know, demanding. And when I get home, when I finish work, my mental capacity to try to be creative, it really isn't there. So that's hence why this has been late. But on top of that, so today is Friday, February the 9th, I believe. Yeah. And generally I would have this out already. I'm trying to do an every other week thing right now until, probably till like, I don't know, March or whatever, till I get a couple more magazines. So I would have been off the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Well, it started snowing here Friday evening last week. It didn't stop snowing really until Monday evening. So it snowed Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It snowed for 4 days straight. I have about 3 feet of snow in my yard. I shovel every single day. My body's not made for shoveling. And I even got snowed into the house. So before I went to bed on Friday night, I shoveled, and people think that it defeats the purpose to shovel in the middle of a snowstorm. Well, I've always learned from history that if I don't shovel during the snowstorm, there's no way I can move that snow when it's 3 feet high. I got to work at it in stages. So before I went to bed late Friday, I went out and I did a little shovel. I shoveled off the deck, the front porch. I have a few steps that come up in a little landing, and then you kind of come into the house. So I did that, and then when I got up on Saturday, I went out and there was about a foot at the end of the driveway. So I cleaned that off and in front of my car, and I shoveled probably 3 more times on Saturday. I shoveled 3 or 4 times on Sunday. And then when I got up on Monday, I couldn't even get out of the house. I had to, my door opens in, the main door, but the screen door opens out, and I had to cut the screen out of the door and crawl out the door in order to get out of my house. It was just complete madness. So I've been shoveling like every chance that I get, and when I'm working and shoveling, there's little time to be creative. So that's where I've been. And right now there's still, behind my car, there's still a mound of snow about 3 feet that I'm trying to move to the end of the driveway. It's a slow progress. But I'm glad to be here today. Because, you know, since I've been working in the craft room this morning, I haven't been really working in the craft room for quite a while. I'm feeling mental health better already. Okay, so I think that's where I think we'll put that there. So I hope you guys are all doing okay. I'm just finding I don't mind winter, and I don't mind rain here this summer. It rained 21 days in July, and I loved it. I don't mind rain at all, and I don't mind the dark days. I just mind and I don't mind the snow. It can be romantic. I just don't like shoveling it. It's too hard on my body. So that's been bringing me down. And I'm finding, do you ever find like there's times that things just seem to bother you when maybe they wouldn't normally bother you? Well, that's kind of where I'm at. And like a couple things at work are bothering me, so I'm thinking about that. And even though I might not even be dwelling or thinking on that bit, it's on my mind and I feel like heavy inside. Anyway, maybe it's just me, but I just find that I was I've been doing a bit of struggling. The struggle is real. Okay, so I then went and found those images that I was saying, with these floral images. And I was going to cut them out by hand because not everybody has a die cut. But I found these little dies and I thought I'm going to use those kind of as the bottom part of my medal. So what I was thinking is I would kind of make it a little bit like a flower, but that I would layer them. So I had cut out this side, but I didn't really think that that worked well. And then I had another little doily die cut, so I cut a couple of these out, and then I cut one out that's kind of the same. But I felt that if I used that, it just doesn't stand out. And I want it like kind of the layers to stand out a bit. So I thought, well, if I went with a white, and then I took my scissors and I just cut the center out. You might hear a bunch of loud noises because a dump truck and a big front end loader has just come to try to get some of the snow out of my little subdivision here. The snow banks are so high that they're halfway up the side of people's houses. It makes it dangerous if you're trying to drive like around a corner and you can't see, so you kind of inch out. But if somebody's not paying attention coming up the street and they're coming up at a pace, then that's it. There's an accident waiting to happen. So I was kind of thinking something like that would be like the bottom part of my medal. What if so then I thought, well, see, I had a lot of thoughts this morning. If I turned this and just used the back side and then like that, I think that, I'm not sure what I like better. Because, see, those are kind of a little bit different tones, which I don't think it picks up on camera, but it picks up in my eye. And I don't really like that color. So, I think I'll go with that. So I think that would stand out a little better. So indecisive. I wish you guys could give me a... Anyway, I'm going with this. I sometimes think about doing a live thing, but there's only me here. So I find that when people are trying to do a live thing and they're the only person there, it's just way too distracting. I find that I personally don't enjoy it, but that's just me. I'd rather watch... I watched this, I used to, Stampin' Up, when I was doing Stampin' Up a lot. And she would do a live, and she'd edit it and take out all the live bits and just do kind of like the tutorial talk part. And I find I enjoyed that much, much better. So I'm trying to give this a little bit of dimension by kind of crumpling up the flower parts of it, because then that makes it more 3D and makes it more enjoyable for the eye. Okay, so I can fluff it up a little bit more later, but then I was thinking, well, what am I going to do with my center? I could just leave it, because a lot of medals that you pin on, you know, really don't have a thing in the middle, but I then rooted through my stash trying to think of some inspiration, and I found this little flower, which is, I've had it for a long time. It's a Forever in Time thing that I got at some shop. And then I thought about the only other thing that I had was like a big, I tried the pink one, and it just... I don't know, it looked kind of, I don't know, I just really didn't like that look. So I thought if I was going to do anything, that a little clear one might work. But then it's blingy, but it doesn't really stand out. So I kind of like that one because I think it draws the pinkish from the top. And I love flowers. I'm a flower child. So we'll put that down because I like it. So then, how are we going to, I think if I put that up a little bit on dimensionals, so I just need to grab my foam tape and we'll pop that up on there. So the one thing that I have been doing, because even if I don't feel inspiration like to create something, I still need to do projects. And my back's been really bothering me from work and shoveling. So I've been sitting more out in the living room in my chair. But I've been working on some little happy mail. And I intend on sending out a couple things towards the end of the month. So I'm excited about that. So I've been working on that. So the other thing I'm missing is my... Uh-oh. I had a little saying to go there, which is just probably flown onto the floor. I have a little tray for things, and it's out in the living room for the project I'm doing out there, so I should have brought it in and had every little thing put on here. Okay, well, we'll just do another one. So I love my little brother. I can't even see that though. And the saying that I had printed out is a saying that I've been saying a lot, is this too shall pass. Because about many, many years ago now, 30 years ago, I was sick and they weren't sure, a virus or something, but I was also having panic attacks and really bad anxiety, which thankfully I no longer have, but at that point I did, and it was the first time ever. I was never an anxious person in my life. I was one of those go get 'em, bull in a china shop, I'll try it, don't worry. So having that kind of anxiety was crippling. I was actually off work for a couple of months, I think. I lost a lot of weight. Part of it was the virus. I had some sort of stomach virus. I don't even think they know now what all was going on. But, and I remember I read in a book, like a dealing with anxiety book or whatever, just to say to yourself, this too shall pass. And sometimes if I'm struggling a little bit, I remember that. And I just wanted that to kind of be my affirmation medal. Is that, you know, you get through things, but just remember that this too shall pass. And if today you're struggling mentally, physically, then, you know, then just think about this too shall pass. And a lot of times it does. Now I deal with chronic pain, so I'm in pain every day. But it's not, some days it's just worse than others. Okay, so I'm thinking about maybe a little bit of something like that. Kind of like how that's looking. Because if I put that up at the top, and then I also want to put that butterfly, I think it's too much. So, but you gotta have some border here, some interest, something that your eye's gonna like. And then I can cut off can cut off bits that are overhanging once we get them stuck down. So I have been managing to keep up with my Marguerite Miller though, and I think some of it is because I got on a roll and I was kind of enjoying all the prompts. They just seemed to be flowing into my theme. So I had done a few ahead of time. So I've got this week's up and next week's, I think, and then I'll need to, I've got my prompts here in front of me so that when I'm in my room I can kind of think a little bit on what kind of theme, how you can draw them together. So I love doing collage, and for me this is a little bit collage, but it's more like just, I don't know, just glue book. What kind of, like, would you say this kind of collage is? I'm not sure. So this little butterfly, I don't really want to cut bits of them off. So what I thought I would do is just trim them up a little bit and see where we are once I trim him up, so that, see if he fits in the frame. I've been watching, you know, my guilty pleasure, I don't even know if it's guilty, but I've been watching The Great British Sewing Bee, and gosh, I love that. It's just so real. Oh, I do like this. It's just so relaxing to watch it because people are being creative, but there's not a lot of like tension and conflict, and it's just nice. It's just enjoyable. Okay, so I think this is coming together. So let's get some of this cut off. And as soon as I finish this, I'll find that other saying somewhere. But that's good. I can put it in my daily diary. All right. So I think that's kind of cute. I maybe should have pulled that up to center it more, but I wanted to get my butterfly in, and I guess I could have put him on top of my butterfly, because I guess essentially I've created two focal points, but I like the way it is. I could put a little something here, but I don't at this moment. The other butterfly that I had to choose from was this one. So I mean, I could, yeah, it's too big. But I did, now that I'm seeing that, I do often like to put a little something in there, and because I've got a pearl there, then I think I will put a pearl in there, and then it kind of balances out that image. So let's stick that down there, right about there. So that's kind of cute. And then what if I could have put some metal across there. I could have probably could have done a lot of things, but I have these little rivets, but I have them in silver. I wonder what a line, or what I could put a line of silver ones, because I like the silver ones, and I had those on my desk somewhere, and of course can't find them. Oh, or what about these? Look, right in front of my eyeballs. I got this little thing of little gems that I could put a line across there. But I think I would like the silver better. So I do have, got these at the dollar store. I have as many packs now as probably I'll ever need in my lifetime. But I'm kind of thinking to put, I like the gold better. Okay, so let's cut a strip of this and see what it looks like. We could always not use it. Okay, so The other thing, and don't judge me on this at all, but I've been watching a lot of disaster movies. And I don't like seeing people hurt or... sorry if my head gets in the way. But I've just been into like... Well, I'll tell you what I was watching just before this epic storm hit Nova Scotia. I was watching Snowmageddon. And then the storm hit. And I don't know if you've ever watched Snowmageddon, but in that movie, somebody gets delivered anonymously on their doorstep a snow globe. And when it's wound up or whatever, it causes all this havoc of snow and all this stuff. So I was convinced that somebody had received a snow globe in Nova Scotia. And they've been shaking it up and caused the Snowmageddon, but I think that's obviously just my imagination. But I think what I like about it is the heroism and how people, you know, in crises do come together, and at the end, even though there's been all this traumatic events happening, there's hope, I guess. Maybe right now I'm just looking for hope. Okay, so I fluffed that up a little bit more, which I like. I do like that little line of blingy, because, you know, on any kind of metal, there's metal, I think, to hold it on. And I don't really have, if I go back to my little bits, I don't really think I have anything, because all the butterflies that I have right now, I think are those big ones that we keep using. But it might be nice to have, well, I can keep looking, and if I find one, I can just add it in later. Or I was going to say a flower, but I don't think a flower would go. I think we've got a lot of flowers there now. So I think that's probably it. Let's see how it will look when we put it in the book. I think that would look lovely. So I'm just going to go away. I'm going to put that in the book and I'll be right back. Okay, so I think we've got everything together. So if we're going through the book, dum-de-dum-dum-dum, and then we come to our latest page, which I think is just really nice. And when I was just cleaning up the desk here, I found my other one. I knew it would show up. So I thank you very much for watching today. I hope I didn't waffle on too much. I hope you will come back for more. And until we meet again. Oh, there was another thing I was going to say. Somebody mentioned to me, actually it was one of the people I subscribe to, that they found out, or they heard, that YouTube is just unsubscribing people from pages. And sure enough, when I went back to look at a couple people that I subscribed to, I was no longer subscribed to them. So if you do think you're subscribed to me, I'd love for you to check, as every subscriber means a lot to me. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. And I do hope to get another, well, I will get another Daphne's Diary up within the next couple weeks. And check out my Marguerite Miller challenge that comes out on Sunday. So I hope you do have a good week, that you stay safe and well. And until we meet again, bye for now.